Hey guys, how's it going? Celtic Reviews, and today I am reviewing Godzilla vs Kong. I finally had a chance to watch it on HBO Max today. I've been fucking busy as hell with work, and I finally had time to sit down this morning and watch it on my 4K TV. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my thoughts on if I think it's personally worth your guys' time and if it was worth my time. And while I say that, you can go out and watch this in theaters, or you can do what I did and watch it on HBO Max same day premiere. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the review. So, Godzilla vs Kong is the clash movie between Godzilla and King Kong that's been building up since Godzilla 2014, and then Kong Skull Island, and then Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now, I am personally a fan of both. I love Godzilla and I love King Kong. Actually, one of my favorite movies of all time is Peter Jackson's King Kong, and I absolutely love the original Godzilla films. I thought they were absolutely beautiful, and I loved them. I loved old school cinema like that. So I'm personally a really big fan of both of these creatures, and I was very excited to see what they would do. Since there was already an original Kong versus Godzilla, I was very interested to see what to do with today's modern technology with this sort of concept, and we finally got it. It was announced, I think, like a year or two ago, and it was supposed to come out in theaters, and HBO Max happened, and COVID happened, and now we get it on both theaters and HBO Max. But for me, the universe they've been building up so far has been kind of messy. I was not a big fan of Godzilla 2014. I felt like they focused way too much on the human aspect and not enough on King Kong. I mean, on Godzilla, my bad. They didn't focus enough on Godzilla. It felt like they wanted to focus more on the human element than the monster element. And then we got Kong Skull Island, which I fucking loved. It was a perfect blend. It had great writing, it had great action scenes, had great visual effects. The humans didn't feel like they were in the way of the film. They felt like they were integral to the movie along with King Kong. And then we got Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I felt had very poor writing. It did show a little bit more Godzilla. I do love the fact they showed Godzilla fighting other monsters in King of the Monsters. I love that aspect. That was one of my favorite parts of Godzilla King of the Monsters. But again, it felt like the director and the writers had to put these human characters in there that didn't really feel necessary. You can do human characters in these type of movies. Kong Skull Island and Peter Jackson's King Kong showed that characters can be integral to a monster movie like this. However, it just seemed like with Godzilla King of the Monsters, it felt like they just got in the way. Same thing with Godzilla 2014. But the problem with Godzilla 2014 is that they focused way too much on the humans and not enough on Godzilla. While Godzilla King of the Monsters, it did focus more on Godzilla, but the human characters were not even interesting at all. I just didn't care. So that leads us into Godzilla vs. Kong. I thought the movie was good. I don't think it's not great. It's not masterful in my opinion. It's a good movie. The main reason why I say this is the same problem that, Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla King of the Monsters has. It has bland characters that I just don't care about. There's maybe like one or two characters I was like, okay, they're pretty interesting. But overall, it just has very bland characters. And the writing to me is very poor. It's not interesting writing. When the humans were on the screen, I just didn't care. However, they do focus way more on Godzilla and King Kong, which is this movie's saving grace. If it wasn't for this movie would have been a disappointment to me. When it focuses on Godzilla and King Kong, the movie skyrockets to a 10 out of 10 at times because of how they do the CGI for these creatures. It looks so good, so realistic. It looks phenomenal. Godzilla's CGI looks beautiful in this movie. Same with King Kong's. They put so much expression in their faces. You know what they're thinking. It's really well done. And then of course we get the fight scenes. They don't pull a Batman v Superman where there's one fight scene. No, they have multiple fight scenes in this movie, and they're all done excellent. The fight scenes between Kong and Godzilla honestly had me smiling ear from ear. It was destructive. It was masterfully crafted by the CGI team. They did a great job with this. I could not take my eyes away from the screen. They were glued to it whenever Kong and Godzilla were on the screen. But I just feel like they didn't do that well of a job writing the characters. I'm not saying they're bad. They just weren't interesting enough. Whenever they were on screen, I was like, okay, I get where this is going. Please stop. But I'm not going to say the movie's bad because of it, because the movie is not. The movie is really well done. It is a good movie. It didn't disappoint me. That is my main thing. It did not disappoint me. I was happy with the final product of Godzilla vs. Kong. I was happy. The ending had me smiling ear from ear with the final battle. As a big Godzilla fan and as a big King Kong fan, that final battle just had me fucking smiling. And I was so happy with that final fight scene. And I think a lot of Godzilla fans and King Kong fans will enjoy this movie like I did. It is a good movie. I just feel like they focused way too much on, again, just like with Godzilla 2014, just like with Godzilla King of the Monsters, they focused way too much on that human aspect. The whole point of Godzilla vs. Kong is to show the dynamic and clashing of Godzilla and King Kong. While we did get that in a spectacular form, I wish they would have done more with it. Like, they could have removed at least 30 minutes of the human shit, did more Godzilla stuff, did more King Kong stuff. Because in my honest opinion, they didn't show a lot of Godzilla in this movie. This feels more like a King Kong movie, in my opinion. And once you watch it, you'll see why. This feels way more to me like a King Kong movie than a Godzilla movie. Godzilla's in it pretty decent amount of time. It just felt like they focused a lot more on King Kong. But again, it's handled well, and it's handled excellently. I do think, like I said, the way I could put this is the shit with Godzilla and King Kong is handled very fucking well. It is handled beautifully. It is honestly the best part of the film. The shit with the humans was not handled well. It was poorly written. It felt like the writers and directors had to put these human characters in there. They had to put a specific amount of time of human characters in this movie. And with this movie being this movie is like 2 hours long. Just a little bit under. I think it's like 1:59, like close to 2 hours. It doesn't feel like, it feels like most of the movie is still revolved around these human characters. And, you know, that's fine if it's done well. Kong Skull Island showed that. But it just seems like they focused way too much on the human characters, like they had to do it. But the Godzilla and King Kong stuff really does save this movie. I do think this is the second best film in this Monsters universe. It goes Godzilla 2014, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, and then Kong Skull Island. Because if I had to rate Kong Skull Island, it would be a 9 out of 10. That movie is fucking excellent. This movie, for me, I want to give it an 8 out of 10. I really do. But to me, the human element really dragged it down. The writing just isn't that good for them to want to put this much human aspect into a movie like this. They should have brought in the writers from like Kong Skull Island, because they knew how to write those human characters, make you care about them, make you want to see them make it out. In this movie, I'm just like, okay, whatever, cool, sure. It's not, I will say it's probably on par with Godzilla 2014 writing. I don't think it's as atrocious as like Godzilla King of the Monsters writing. It's on par with Godzilla 2014. It's not good, but it's not horrible writing. But again, the Godzilla stuff and the King Kong stuff really saves this movie. So for me, Godzilla vs. Kong is getting a 7 out of 10. It is a good movie. I do think you should watch it. You may actually differ in opinion, may have a different opinion than me. That's fine. I do personally think this movie is good. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's excellent. But again, this is another win for HBO Max. They've been missing it here lately with Wonder Woman 84 and all the little things. But recently with Zack Snyder's Justice League and this, they're now coming back. Hopefully Space Jam 2, hopefully Space Jam 2 is good. I really hope Space Jam 2 is good. I hope Mortal Kombat is good, which I will be reviewing that as well. But yeah, this movie is a pretty high 7 out of 10. if they would have focused a little bit less on the human aspect, this movie could have been easily a 10, like a 8 out of 10, or hell, even reach a 9 out of 10. Hell, this movie could have had potential to reach a 10 out of 10. But again, it just felt like the writers just didn't care as much as the human characters. They just wanted to, they're mainly used for exposition. So to me, I like the movie. I think it's good, but it's not great. Anyways, guys, did you watch it? Tell me what you thought of it down below. I know Altex watched it. Go check out his review as well. I want to leave a link to his review down below in the description. His review is really good. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this review, and I'll see you guys next time.